untouchable for life. Yeah, yeah. And you wasn't polite. It hit me like a tom. You hit me like a tom. No, no, no. Ooh, yeah. Well, I turned my feelings on. I turned my feelings on inside. Yeah, yeah. Feel like I'm gonna ignite. I saw them stars go off. I saw them stars go off at night. Ooh, yeah, yeah. And they're looking alright.
Roll up, keep up, roll up, get up, roll it out, keep up,
Hit me like a tom.
oh,
It hit me like a tom.
oh.
It hit me like a tom. I turned my camera on. I cut my fingers on the way. On the way. On the way. I feel me slipping away. I wipe my feelings off. You made me untouchable for life.
Roll up,
Ooh, yeah. And you wasn't polite. You hit me like a tom. I don't know where it's from. Hit me like a tom. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, yeah. Camera on. Ooh, yeah. Camera on. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, yeah. I turn my camera on like a tom. I turn my camera on like a tom. I turn my camera on like a tom. Hit me like a tom. Feel me slip away.
Well, we have seen so much rain lately. It's been a very damp and kind of wet period. I guess that's typical of April. In fact, just checking my notes right here because, of course, we had the graphics fail again this week. Should have those up and running again next week. Actually, 5.83 inches of rain in just the past 8 days across April so far. And that is, in fact, the wettest month since December of 2014. And typically we don't see December being that wet of a month, so it is pretty impressive there. But April showers, as you know, bring Mayflowers, and Mayflowers bring refugees, or rather pilgrims, excuse me for that. Temperatures right now across the area, though, 54 in Boston. In fact, the warmest in the Northeast, 54 up in the Concord Valley as well, Connecticut River Valley, all those areas. A little bit toastier today than the surrounding places, 43 in Pittsfield, Mass, so it has been rather chilly. The only thing I'm a little bit suspect about is this. There was a reading a few minutes ago, and it's still showing up here, of 68. Wow, it's still there, yeah. So a couple 60s right here in central Nova Scotia. I'm not sure if that's real. Part of me wants to think it is, though, because as you can see, they've had very strong southerly winds, actually 15 knots, so that should be enough to bring in some southerly air and nice warm temperatures. But it's downsloping a little bit too, and as things go downhill, they tend to warm and compress adiabatically, so that's part of the reason why I do think those are actual real values. But across the Northeast right now, we can see we do have some clouds moving in. I'm so sorry that things aren't working out today in terms of the PowerPoint slideshow, but hey, you do the best you can. Clearing in southeastern Mass, but that clearing will not stick around. This line is pushing off to the east. If I had any RAM, I would show you, but my computer has failed, and you know how that goes. So But a beautiful shot nonetheless. We can even see a couple little interference patterns. It's kind of cool. Sometimes you think about ripples in a bathtub or ripples in any body of water. You can kind of see a few of those right over here, and it's beautiful to see. And that's what I want to point out right here. No snow left in the northeast, though, so that's hightailing it out of here awfully quickly. With all that rain, though, we actually have a few flood warnings in effect. This green one right here has been, I think, allowed to expire. I'm going to check on that. I'm just going to refresh the page. And let's see. Nope, it's still up. This one is for, if I remember correctly, Perchade Brook, in Taunton, part of the Taunton River. That goes all the way down to Middleborough. I'm so sorry, it's been a long day. All the way down to Middleborough, where there's actually been some flooding. A couple homes have been cut off. So again, not major. That's an area that is very prone to flooding, but it's been going on and it will continue to go on for quite a while. Time for the models, and I can tell you there is absolutely nothing to talk about here, nothing to see here. This was our system that already skedaddled out of here. High pressure builds in, winds from the south-southwest. Anything that heads towards us in terms of rainfall falls apart, giving me very little to talk about, for which reason I can show you this one more time. The warm air, let's see, here we go. There's the high pressure building in. You can see the wind barbs change around from the southwest, giving beautiful conditions. On Monday, I think we'll probably see a high of 70. On Tuesday, wouldn't be surprised in Boston to see a high of 80. But I want you to notice this right here, and we're going to go to Tuesday. See how it's warm everywhere? Oh no! Warm everywhere except Cape Cod, and that's because we have that marine influence. Remember, when we have strong southwesterly winds, even though over here that's a land breeze, down towards the immediate south coast of Cape and the Islands, and I mean only like 2 or 3 miles inland, maybe up to exit 3 on Route 3, hence why I call it the exit 3 effect. But through that area, we will see temperatures only into the 40s to around 50 degrees, for which reason I say, yes, summer for everybody else, and Cape Cod, you are stuck in winter. One cool thing I can show you about that, though, in Boston, here's a forecast model sounding, and, oh, sorry, I have to switch around to this way. Right here, you can see the forecast model sounding. What this shows is right near the surface, we're talking temperatures right around 70 to 80 degrees. On Cape Cod, though, notice it does this. This is so weird, but it's part of the marine influence. We have winds from the south and southwest at very low levels, but only the lowest level. See how they turn around to more of the west aloft? For which reason it's actually warmer, about 200 feet up, significantly warmer, perhaps 15 degrees warmer or more, maybe even 20 degrees warmer, if you go up just maybe half a football field. So if you're driving over the Sagamore Bridge, I'm serious about this, if you were to climb the rungs, it might be 70 degrees at the top and only 45 degrees down at the canal, 25-degree temperature change. And that's just how impressive this marine layer is, and that's how it always is this time of year. 7-day forecast showing you, well, I'm not going to lie, I don't agree with all this. I think Sunday and, well, Sunday should be right around 60. Monday, I think we're going to see a 70 in Boston. For Tuesday, I honestly think we can hit 80 degrees. I really think we can do it. Sea breeze should not take hold in Boston. There's a strong enough pressure gradient to keep winds from the west. So I'm optimistic we're going to stay in the 80s, but yeah, we'll see. That is my latest forecast for now. Stay tuned because we have a pretty interesting segment coming up in just a minute. I'm sure many people heard those rumblers last night, some strong thunderstorms pushing across parts of Massachusetts. But yesterday, earlier on, there was actually some pretty severe weather across the Mid-Atlantic. This is a lightning plot, one of my tweets from yesterday. An incredible amount of lightning, especially considering it's only April. We don't have those big-time summer boomers coming through yet. So it really was a cool event. But we actually had multiple tornadoes hit the D.C. area, and I wonder if this is any coincidence or if this is Mother Nature's way of kind of throwing a fly in the ointment. But I want to show you this one because this is one of my favorite videos. I absolutely love this. It's very entertaining because if this video loads, you'll be able to see we have a small tornado less than 500 feet. I'm serious about this. Less than 500 feet from the Oval Office. And again, you can see developing right here. There is a Washington Monument right there. You can actually see this tornado, even a weak one, but still knocked over a bunch of cherry trees. Cherry Blossom Festival, a little bit underwhelming this year because of that, but you'll see in a second if we can fast forward. Here's a cloud base, very low cloud base, only about I want to say 200 feet above the ground. But you'll notice when we pivot back off to the east, here is that tornado again, moving right through the tidal basin, and it actually comes ashore and stops right near the White House. If I'm correct, there's a Jefferson Memorial, and the White House is just out of the shot. But yeah, we saw significant severe weather across D.C. And in fact, here's that first tornado right near the tidal basin, okay? But then a secondary one developed right near the National Mall. So here you can see that same video if it plays. There's a tornado from a little bit closer down on the ground, National Park Ranger. And no, I'm not talking about an alternative National Park Ranger, an actual National Park Ranger. Shot that video, damage all over the area. Here was a picture of some trees that were down right on the Capitol lawn, or right near the Capitol lawn, rather. We have a picture from the Capitol lawn. I'm going to skip that one in a second. Here's more damage from the D.C. area. And let's see, Jacqueline Diaz, ABC News correspondent, saw this. And this was actually on the Capitol lawn and in the parking lot, too. So, well, they got pretty close. Here, this one's kind of interesting. Here is a Pentagon. So a tornado actually hit the Pentagon, a very small one, so you're not hearing about it too much in the news. And then we have this, a secondary one that moved right up the National Mall onto the lawn. So here's the bottom line. And again, here you see this little one right near the Pentagon. Kind of tough to tell, but you see it right in there, if I can step out of the way. So here's what I'll say. I wonder if these tornadoes were aiming for any particular target. I wonder if they were trying to do anything in particular. But ultimately, you can talk about climate change, you can talk about not believing in climate change, and you can dismiss facts, because ultimately, even though they're facts, you don't have to like them, you just have to accept them. But above all, these tornadoes, maybe they were aiming for something, because the bottom line is, if you screw with Mother Nature, it's going to screw with you. And if you screw with scientists, maybe we can swirl up a tornado or two. That is the latest on the DC tornadoes, and I hope that Mother Nature keeps her witty sense of humor, because I know that the only thing you can do in situations like this, rather than cry, is laugh. That is what's going on in D.C.